Yo, what up everybody, Arie here, and in today's video I want to share with you my biggest mistake when it comes to e-commerce and Shopify and dropshipping. So literally all of those things. I've determined this mistake quite recently and I've been beating myself up over it a lot, but I'm a big fan of just taking action and not really dwelling on your problems too much and instead just finding solutions as quickly as you can. And I'm not gonna lie, to some of you out here that watch my videos that actually have experience running successful businesses, you'll probably think like, man, how didn't Arie think about this sooner? So I just wanted to be transparent today. I'm a part of this community just as much as you guys are. So basically my biggest issue has been not hiring people. Like, my team is really small and my team has been really small for a very long time. And now that I'm actually, realizing what I want in life and like what I really want to focus my time on, it's becoming really stressful to see my businesses, running not as smoothly as before, mainly because my time is diluted. So I'm going to go extremely hard in the next coming weeks, hiring people, just really trying to systemize my businesses a little bit, because I do have good systems I've built in place for myself, but I'm still a lone wolf. I still kind of handle everything on my own. So basically I'm adding too much pressure to myself, and in order to relieve some of that pressure, I need to start outsourcing my new tasks. It's kind of crazy, but if you guys remember back like a year ago, I started a challenge where I wanted to build a Shopify store from scratch, only using free traffic. So the point of this video was to build a theme page on Instagram where I could grow it and build a community and then launch products to them. I actually still post on that page basically every single day, and I do it myself. Like, it's actually a meme page now, and if you want to go follow it, please do so in the description. I really love media, honestly. Like, that's my biggest strong suit. This is why I can produce a YouTube video every day. It's just like what I love doing, posting, reaching people. I just love it. But this is such a good example. Like, this page doesn't make me any money. It doesn't really give me anything besides just like a laugh, which is really important, and this is probably why I still do it. And I'm also just not the type to just quit. Like, I'll literally not quit ever. But again, that does hinder the growth of my other businesses. So like, this never quitting mentality is kind of harming me at this point. Now I'm not gonna quit though. So probably what I'm gonna end up doing is hiring somebody to post on the page, because it's so easy. Like, it's not hard to post on the page. It doesn't take me that long. It takes me maybe 20 minutes a day, but that adds up. And then even in my brands, I think the biggest thing I struggle with right now is launching new products. I tend to just stick with the same old products and not really introduce new things too much, because I don't really have the time and I'd rather just coast on what I got. So I want to hire somebody to just be actively doing research and feeding me potential product ideas, and then I can launch them. Or maybe I should just hire somebody to launch them for me. I don't know, but this is just what I've been feeling lately as a business owner. And like, literally every video that I make nowadays is kind of like a business vlog. And the reason why I say that is because even though I'm not like showing you my life, this is how I start my day usually, is by just making a video where I just share my thoughts and just share my journey with you guys. And I truly love that, and I want to continue to do that every day. So this is kind of part of that. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but at the same time, I'm feeling very excited, really looking forward to beating this challenge and just growing as an entrepreneur. I've needed to hire people for so long, and I feel like now I'm at a crucial point where if I don't do it, it will really slow down my businesses to the point where they could even reach zero. And I'm the type of person that needs this type of critical, drastic contrast in order to really get things moving fast. So I got Upwork pulled up here, and this is where I'm going to be finding some people to hire. So I definitely want to make sure that my team is mostly remote. It doesn't really make sense for me to hire people in-house right now. Like, that's what I thought about when I first moved here. I was like, I'm going to build this team of people in-house, and while I do think that would be very beneficial, I don't think I'm at a point where I can really afford that, especially in the state that I'm in where minimum wage is pretty high. I think I'll be able to get more bang for my buck through Upwork, at least for the time being, just to really get started on these systems that I need to build. So this is where I'll be doing it. And truth be told, I have hired people in the past, but I've just been like a bad manager because I'm pulled in so many directions. So I'm gonna watch this video by Gary Tan. It's about his failure as a manager, and I think I'll be able to learn a lot from his failures, since he has so much more experience than I do at such a high level. I'm sure that this will be really relevant for me. So yeah, let's watch a little bit of this.
Do you ever get the sensation you want to eat a whole pizza yourself, while another totally different part of yourself says, you should probably get a salad, fat ass. It makes me wonder, am I truly one singular person? Or are we many people in one body? Neurologists are actually finding we have many different agents inside of us, not just one, each with a totally different set of ideas and feelings.
Sorry, my camera died, but here we go.
Different set of ideas and one body. Neurologists are actually finding we have many different agents inside of us, not just one, each with a totally different set of ideas and feelings. And frankly, a history. If you want to create anything, including $1 billion company, you've got to handle this kind of thing. First at your individual conscious level, and then after that, you can do it for your team. And that's what it takes to make a team that changes the world. Watch this video, and we're going to talk about how to do that right now. Let's get into it.
I do kind of need that.
In April of last year, I did a 360-degree review with my team. What that means is my exec coach sat down with the people I worked most closely with over the year and got feedback about me from them one-on-one. Then she anonymized it and pulled out what I needed to do to get better. A 360 review is an absolutely powerful tool for you to know how you're doing and what you could be doing better. But this time, I got a big awakening to something I wasn't totally aware of. One of my team members said, Gary relies on other people to say no for him. He feels things, but does not articulate them until later. People can't immediately understand what he thinks or feels about a situation. Ugh. If you're a manager, you know this is a red flag. I wasn't doing my job. I wasn't being clear when I needed to be. You need to know this is merely scratching the surface of what's actually going on here. To understand organizations and our job as leaders, we need to understand our brains, our teams, and how our social consciousness is woven together. And only then can we change the world through our work and our teams. How did I get to this point? I find that I'm actually often debating both sides of a thing. On the one hand, I do have my own viewpoint, informed by my experience. Whether it's a go, no-go decision about a product or how much to pay for something, I'm always going to have my own opinion. But on the other hand, I end up having very detailed mental models of what other people want, whether it's my customer, my user, my investor, or even my coworkers. They have totally different motivations, wants, and needs. And that's a good thing, actually. One of the things that allows me to do a good job as a designer, VC, or manager is to be able to construct models of behavior of other people based on their experience, not just mine. These two sides play out within me kind of like an argument. Sometimes it is many selves. It might be me and several different perspectives from different coworkers at play, all arguing it out in front of me within my brain at the same time. Inside of me, I'm debating with the constructed models of what other people want. And when I don't properly resolve that back and forth, I don't actually, as a leader, make a good decision. And I might end up relying on others to interpret the tea leaves and say yes or no for me. Fundamentally, that means I am not integrated enough. Here's what I realized. There are many minds within me. Through therapy and exec coaching, I now know this about myself. It's easy to lose myself in other people's perspectives. Their wants and needs are so vivid to me, I've sometimes lost my own perspective.
That's actually so relatable. I mean, I think that's been one of the biggest issues I've had with hiring is that sometimes I'm not as willing to give orders because I don't like taking orders, and I think that other people also don't like taking orders, so I just kind of sit back and let people just do their thing. But a lot of times they may not really know what to do. They may not have a clear outline of what they need to be doing all the time, and I'm not there to guide them, and I think that's been a big mistake for me. So that's a really good point. So that's one thing I need to change.
Neuroscientists have been talking about exactly that. What you and I experience as a unitary experience of consciousness might not actually be. Here's one of my favorite clips from Adam Curtis's new documentary, Can't Get You Out of My Head.
In the 1980s, the new group of behavioral psychologists had argued that what human beings think of as their self was not fully in control of their actions. Now, they had been joined by neuroscientists who said they had discovered something even stranger. That inside their brains, human beings had all kinds of different selves, which the conscious mind had no awareness of at all. They were led by Michael Gazzaniga, who would win a Nobel Prize for his work.
With your right hand, you point to this row, and with your left hand, you point to this row. Okay?
Gazzaniga studied the brains of people like Vicky.
About the Italian meal tonight.
She suffered from extreme epilepsy.
I'm thinking about that.
To try and stop her attacks, surgeons had cut the nerve fibers that linked the two sides of her brain.
What?
It worked, but it also revealed something very strange. There was another force inside Vicky that emerged, that kept trying to take control.
I knew what I wanted to wear, and I would open up my closet, get ready to take it out. My other hand would just take control. And it would just reach in and get something that I wouldn't want at all. And a couple times I had a pair of shorts on, and then I find myself putting another pair of shorts on top of a pair I already had on, and which I knew was wrong.
Gazzaniga argued that really there were multiple selves inside the human brain, each one taking control at different moments. Normally that is hidden, because the one self that is conscious constantly makes up stories to explain what all the other selves are doing. But when the connection between the two parts of the brain is cut, it can't do that, and the other parts emerge. Vicky wasn't strange, Gazzaniga said. She just showed the truth. Gazzaniga argued that really all human beings live in a made-up dream world of stories, which give them the illusion that they are in control, when really there is something else inside them that they will never contact.
What this professor proposes is that many minds decide, and then our verbal centers rationalize. There is no united self, but many of them, and all of us human beings live in a made-up dream of stories that give the illusion that we have control, when really there's something else inside of us that we might never ever be in contact with. The psychological self might actually be multiple selves. They have emotions, incentives, destinies, and they can control the motor apparatus, our bodies and what we say and what we do. And then there's a verbal part trying to rationalize this after the fact. Let's think about this for, just a moment. Whoa. There are many minds outside of us too. Here's where the organization matters. Robert Keegan, Harvard researcher, says there are 5 stages of development, of which the latter 4 are progressively attained in adulthood. Only a small number of adults actually reach the 4th stage and beyond. Stage 1 is purely impulse or reflex driven. It's infancy and early childhood. Stage 2, the person's sense of self is actually ruled by their needs and their wishes. The needs and wishes of others in that stage are only relevant to the extent that they support those of the person. Effectively, that person lives in 2 separate worlds in that way. And this is how most children and adolescents live. Stage 3 is where the person's sense of self is socially determined based on the real or imagined expectations of others. And this is really our 20s.
Yeah,
Stage 4 is pretty awesome. That's the stage where the person's sense of self is determined by a set of values that they have authored for themselves. And it's rarely achieved, and only in adulthood. Stage 5 sort of sounds like nirvana to me. The person's sense of self is no longer bound to any particular aspect of themselves or their history.
Wow.
They're free to allow themselves to focus on the flow of their lives. Those stages are so powerful and so important to know because they give us a very specific cosmology for how we should strive to live our lives.
That kind of gave me goosebumps. I really feel like knowing that there is a time in my life where I could feel fully in tune with the flow of things, where I'm not bound to any specific thing like he mentioned, not any history, like not anything I've done, or just a way that I feel like I need to be. That sounds amazing. And I feel like knowing that that's a thing that exists gives me like a goal to work towards. This doesn't feel that relevant to hiring, which is kind of the point of this video, but I honestly don't care. I think this is so valuable.
They're free to allow themselves to focus on the flow of their lives. Those stages are so powerful and so important to know because they give us a very specific cosmology for how we should strive to live our lives. Now that we know Keegan's ladder, I realize that I've been climbing this ladder all along. As a child, we are impulse-driven. As an adolescent, we're ruled by our own needs and wishes. As a young adult, our sense of self is defined by our social standing. Who am I in relationship to my group, my tribe, my school, my friends, my family, and my workplace? To progress beyond stage 3, we must ask, can I transcend my own bodily needs? Like right now, I'm crazy cold, so give me a second, I need to get a jacket. Whew, okay, much better. Where were we? Oh, right. Transcending my own bodily needs. Well, not only that, can I transcend my desire for money, for sex, for fame, or for material goods? Let's get back to the feedback I got from my team.
Damn.
Gary relies on other people to say no for him. He feels things, but does not articulate them until later. People can't immediately understand what he thinks or feels about a situation. When in this state, I'm of many minds, some my own, and some made of constructed models of the people around me. I was stuck in stage 3, a socially constructed self. So I was super conflict avoidance, and I could not say no, or even express a preference. I was pretty lucky though, because deep down, I knew that I was going to have problems with this. I always have. And here's where hiring well helped. I'd built a team and set up values that they could work towards, even if in the moment I couldn't express that preference myself. I'm super thankful and I'm super glad for this team, because it was the strength of that team that got me through a very hard time. But relying on the team to say things that I needed to say myself, that's always going to be worse than doing it yourself. These days, through coaching and therapy, I'm now aware of when these conflicts are actually occurring inside of me. And I think that that's a really big win, and I hope you can get that too. How did I do this? I discovered that I can actually notice when these conflicts are happening, and if I can notice, then I can inflect into the conflict. How do I notice this? Well, for me, it's actually physiological. I can feel my breath and my heart rate go faster. I can feel my face get hot. Those are the moments where I need to pause and take stock of the many minds. If I can give a voice to the different parts of me, then I can also notice what I truly want, and then I can express a preference when before I would have been unable to. Ray Dalio talks a lot about meditation as a key force for why he was successful. He says, it helps to slow things down so I can act calmly, even in the face of chaos.
That is a fire line. I'm just going to cut this out right here. Boom, copy, and paste it right here. I love that. It helps to slow things down so that I can act calmly even in the face of chaos, just like a ninja in a street fight.
Just like a ninja in a street fight. I really like that quote a lot. Chaos is gonna be a given. Conflict is a part of life. But if you can notice your many selves and break apart what you truly want versus your modeling of others, then you can reach Keegan's stage 4, a life that is truly authored by you. If you are wondering what happened, I did just do a 360-degree review with my team this year, and I'm happy to report I've been able to solve my problem of asking others to fight my battles for me. They're happy, and so am I. As they say, knowing is half the battle. If you can be integrated and aware at your individual conscious level, then you can integrate your team into a powerful, resolute superorganism that can build incredible products and services. That's what it takes to make something bigger than any of ourselves. When leaders do this, we are greater than the sum of our parts. Thanks for watching all the way to the end.
Wow.
Every week, I put these videos together to try to help you on your journey to founderhood. These are the things that I wish I knew when I was starting out. I can't live my life over again, but I can give you these lessons so you don't have to learn them the hard way. If you like this video, please click subscribe and the bell icon to get notifications for my posts every single week. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, I'm going to say thanks for blessing us with your content, Gary. I'm truly grateful. This was an amazing video, and he makes these videos every week. I feel like I'm going to watch these videos every week, and maybe just like how we're watching it now. But this was my biggest mistake. I mean, I'm sorry to drag you into this, into my content watching. I mean, I know a lot of you guys maybe don't like it, but like I said, my channel, I kind of see it as a vlog, but a different type of vlog channel. Like I just sit down and vlog on my computer, if that makes any sense. But I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you're an experienced e-commerce store owner and you have a crazy amount of systems set up for your store and you want to give me some advice, please don't hesitate to do so in the comments or send me a DM. I would love any help that I can get. But I hope you enjoyed the transparency, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.